The Canadian Hearing Society branch for Waterloo Region has been serving the city for nearly 40 years.
So it doesn't matter if a person is deafened if they've lost their hearing later in life, or if they're hard of hearing. They have their own values, and that helps identify who they are as a person. And lastly, there's the identity about who you are as a person. For myself, I'm culturally deaf. Somebody might say that they are hard of hearing, but it's about how they identify themselves.
The uniqueness of deaf culture stems entirely from language.
When you're talking about language, obviously for us it's ASL, American Sign Language. It's a visual sign language. It involves the signs that are produced on the hands as well as the facial expression to provide the entire language. It has its own grammar and syntax, so it's not just a visual representation of English.
American Sign Language is a conceptual language, whereas Sign Exact English uses English sentence structure with the signs to produce.
And we're talking about norms and behaviors that would be specific within the culture. For example, to get somebody's attention, whereas you might call out their name, for us, we use touch. So for the most part, names aren't fingerspelled within the deaf community. Instead, you're given a name sign, and that kind of takes the place of that.
Deaf schools are important for Ontario's deaf students, but are facing a serious threat.
And so the government just feels that it's really expensive to put money into the schools to keep them open if the number of students isn't there. So OAD is hoping to propose a meeting with the government to talk to them and say, don't close the schools.
With the goal to be fully accessible in Ontario by 2025, there's still a long way to go. With many Canadian resources available, deaf culture is working to bridge that gap.